everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the very unordinary anime K.
A young boy named Shiro is wanted for a crime.
Not that Shiro.
No, it's not, because I'd be going, my Shiro! He's wanted for a crime he has no recollection of committing, and he must go on the run. And he's being hunted by two kings and their forces, as well as, he's not a bounty hunter, but he's some type of hunter.
Yeah, I think it was a samurai?
Yes.
Like some type of like a modern samurai or something. Before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Absolutely, because you know we're going to have more anime for you.
So, yes, we saw this on Netflix, actually. And we actually had it in our list for a while because we read the information, thought it looked interesting, and didn't really get to it until recently when we had watched a lot of the stuff that was already in our list. And we were on an anime craze, so we finally got to see this. And it's probably only 13 episodes.
Right.
And it was based on a manga, like a majority of these anime. So when we saw it for the first time, we weren't really sure about it because it seemed a little off. But then as we got to maybe the third or fourth episode, we were really interested to see where the story was going.
And a sequel film was released in 2014, although we haven't seen it. But when we do, we'll let you know what we think of that one as well.
Right. So for here, like I said, not the Shiro you think. They have this kid who, what's his name? Kuro? And he's sort of like, as we just said, like a modern day samurai, because the world is set in is very futuristic, and he wants to take him out because it looks like they have this video of him. Looks like it's a video of him shooting a cameraman that just happened to have filmed him while he's going on some spiel on a building, and then that person was part of a group, which was why the red side, I'll just call them the red group, was after him, and the blue group wants to bring him to justice without them trying to take him out. And Shiro doesn't remember doing it at all, and he said that he was doing something else at his school. So why would he even do that? He didn't know what was going on. It was at a festival and so forth. There was a reason why, to prove that he didn't do it.
Right. And he has a familiar that follows him around, who's a cat, but when she becomes human, she's of course this real sexy white-haired anime character, and she has the ability to change the environment around you so that if it looks one way, she makes you think you're somewhere else. And it's helped him to get away from villains and from people chasing him. But basically that is her ability.
Right.
And she finds him or meets him, and he ends up befriending her, and he keeps her.
Right.
And she's this really strange character when she's human.
Yeah.
Because she's still acting like a cat.
Right.
And she wants to be petted, and she wants to eat all the time.
Right. It's like, I guess she's still a cat, and I guess so she was a cat first, not human.
Right. And she's always, no, Shiro, don't hurt him. And it's actually cute in a way, because she's the cat, and rarely does she change back into the cat, and when she generally does, it's because she's running off to get away from something. Right.
And then for here, they actually had a little bit of humor in here, mostly with her, and then some dialogue that's bad, but it's not like, it doesn't go like a lot of anime where it has these little, when they do humor, they're stylized and stuff, but for here, they try to keep it straightforward in the action and the story. It's not veering off into some other genre.
Right.
And especially when you find out that there are 7 kings of psychics, or a bunch of clans. They're called the 7 clans of color.
Right.
And they have red, blue, silver, colorless, and then it's like, oh gosh, how much more is here?
So let's get it next, right? His name is Yoshiro Asana. So
right.
Of course, he's nicknamed Shiro. And he doesn't, you learn that he, as you said first, he thought, I didn't do it, it wasn't me, I was here, that, and the other. But as the investigation goes along, he's discovering that what he thinks is true isn't true, and the things he thinks have happened didn't happen.
Right.
And the people that he thinks he knows, or the people he thinks that know him, they don't.
Right.
And so that's when it really gets really crazy in terms of events and things that happen.
Right.
You think you know what's going on within the first 3 episodes, but after that, you find out you don't know jack.
Right. And the most you get until it gets further into the story is that they have this red and blue. They constantly have them at it. And the Red Clan, you know, both of them are looking for this man. I mean, this kid, I should say. It's really a kid. He is hunted by the Red Clan, who is sort of, I guess, they've been developed into sort of like those gangs. They have the gang as family, like Fast and Furious style type group for that group. And then they have the blue group, which is basically the illustrious soldiers from Full Metal Alchemist. Mm-hmm. And even the chief and his...
the clothing.
Yeah, the clothing was very much like it. And then the chief and the, I guess the right hand,
right,
both were like Mustang and Hawkeye.
Yes,
even the voices
definitely
were like them. So it looked like a majority of the blue side was based off of Full Metal Alchemist, while the red side was based off of Fast and Furious.
Right, so you definitely knew who the influence was. And then, as we mentioned earlier, he was saved, and he actually, Kuro Yatagami was coming to kill him. And he ends up saving him after, as you said, he tells him, you know, I didn't do it. And he's the one who becomes Batman's detective. And all along he keeps spitting out these sage words and these like Confucius sayings. And you find out that his master has died. And all of this is on a recording that he has. And then you find out later that his master was actually his grandfather.
Right.
So it was really, really interesting. This character is pretty badass. And you find out until he starts meeting some of the kings toward the end of the series,
right,
he pretty much could take down anybody, he could beat anybody, his skills were just really high.
Right.
Until he met them, and then they just, like, he was like yesterday's trash. They just,
like,
none of his abilities, none of his skills meant anything with them.
Right. So it's pretty intense when you get into this story. So you definitely, we don't want to spoil a whole lot of things because there's just so much.
Absolutely.
There's so much of it.
The last episode, Kings, the 13th episode, is absolutely wow. You don't see it coming. You don't expect it. You cannot figure anything out about this anime unless you've probably read the manga prior. But everything you think you know, you don't know. Everything you think you figured out, you haven't. The only thing you know is the cat is a familiar, and that's what you know.
Right. That's about it. Because everything else is like, what?
That's all that you know. I mean, and it's one of the best, I would say, mysteries in terms of an anime or even a regular animated series that I've seen. Because, as we mentioned, it starts off kind of slow. And you think, oh, this is going to be easy to figure out. There's not going to be anything to this. Let's just stick with it anyway. And then the things start happening, and then you can't figure it out. And then unexpected things happen. And then more is revealed, more isn't revealed. And then the ending is just fantastic. So if you've seen K, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't seen K, we recommend you go to Netflix this week. Check it out while it's still there. 13 episodes. You can binge watch it, get it done. And once you get to that 3rd episode, you will not want to stop watching.
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on podcasts and future World of Paws videos.
And also, additionally, if you have seen the 2014 movie, let us know what you think in the comments below as well.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.
It's on you, man, it's on you. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket, give it to